Good morning, golfing world. George, the Godfather Honeycutt here. Want to welcome everybody to TGD today. It's the round table right here at thegolfdirector.com. So glad to have you join us today here in the studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Absolutely gorgeous day. It's always a beautiful day. Would you get in a doggone better? God almighty. Unbelievable. We've got Al, Dr. Grind, Stimpy Cloyd with us today. Stimpy, a.k.a. Stimpy.
AKA.
We got a new name for Dr. Grind.
Man, you can't beat a deal like that.
Stimpy.
Hey.
Now I got to get it put on your hat.
Hey, as long as they call me for dinner, I don't care what they call me.
What they call you?
Yeah.
And, of course, Hugh Roy III joins us today. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Dude,
Why are you in such a blah mood today? Just blah.
I don't know.
Lord
He'll
have mercy.
he'll snap
and
out of it in a
what's
minute.
up with this? I mean,
I'm getting it cut.
What's up with
It's getting
No,
cut
it's not. I'm
today.
not talking about the length. I'm talking about the gray.
Being around you.
Oh.
He's one to talk, isn't he?
Well, no, hey, I got no
could still
problem
get
with
back
it,
and
babe.
think I was, the Godfather back in 1929, but
She who must be obeyed made the comment the other day. You think you ought to put some color in that?
no, because it turns red.
Kind of darkened it up.
It turns red. Don't do
Oh,
that.
he's already
Heather,
tried.
Heather made me do that for one of our, when we opened that at Long Bay, and dude, it was bad. It was bad. Real bad.
Stimpy, how you doing?
Doing super great, man. If I got any better, I couldn't handle it.
You look good, babe.
Thank you, sir.
I like it.
Thank you.
You look good, bright, cheery, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Can't beat it, man. I've changed my schedule. I've been getting in bed a lot earlier and getting
Have
up
you really?
earlier. And yeah,
Good
man.
for you.
Getting up before noon?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Is Al here yet? It's 9:30. No, it says 10 o'clock. He'll be here at 10. About 11:30, he'll roll right
But
on in.
his 10 is Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's like 3 time zones, and I just kind of pick which one I want to be in that day.
Yeah.
And even though we're in this one, so
That's fine, Stimpy. That's no big deal.
you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Stick, club, pole, or ball bat.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you're in a much better mood than Grumpy here. Speaking of Disney, Grumpy.
Oh yeah. The talking trash can. I want to know about it.
Ooh. It's
Like,
there.
You had me intrigued on the
It's
talking
there.
trash can. now.
It's there.
Okay.
I had a lengthy dialogue with the talking
you
trash.
really?
Sure did. Stood right there.
Siri, where's the garbage can? I'm right here, George.
It is there. There's truth behind the myth.
Behind the myth.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. Got a guy that sits on a microphone, and they got a little camera in there, and they see you walk up, and they'll just start entering dialogue with you.
Right.
Neat.
So
I'm sitting there shoving stuff into it.
yeah.
Too funny. That's too funny.
Do you want something else here? Are you still hungry here? People looking at me like, he's talking to the trash can. Look at him, Homer. He's talking to the trash can. Bethel, come over here.
Come over here. And the trash can's actually talking
He's
back.
talking back. Look at
What the-
this.
What's going on here?
We aren't in L.A. anymore. Lower Alabama. Let's talk some golf. You want to talk golf?
Sure.
We were here on Monday.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I want you to bring up what basically has been the announcement over the last couple of days with Stuart Sink and his wife.
I just thought it would be to open the show with how classy Stewart handled everything, with his announcement, his press release, and how he's taking time off from the tour. His wife's being diagnosed with breast cancer. There's a lot of rumors going around stage 3, stage 4. From some pretty good sources I've heard it's stage 4, which, obviously is very serious.
Very serious.
We just want to wish them the best. And I guess the reason I'm in the mood I'm in too, George, my aunt, my dad's sister's in hospice, and it's only a matter of days. So, this stuff depresses me pretty much because it's happening too much. And as much as they say they're making progress in cancer, they don't seem to be able to cure it, and I don't understand it. But, we wish them all the best. Stewart's a great guy. They do a lot for the community and up in Atlanta and trying to help. And, just really good people, and you hate to hear it. They got 3 young boys. You don't want to see that.
And they have been together since they were 15 years old.
Yeah.
They have never known another relationship
Well, it's
Neither
like
one of them.
when he first turned pro and came out. I mean, they just kind of come up and introduce themselves. Like, you think if they didn't know something, then they kind of recognized you. Like they came up to my wife and I and said, can you help us with where to stay next week, or stuff like that.
Right.
They're just good people,
Right.
And
Right.
you just you hate to hear this, and we just prayers and thoughts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So thanks for covering that with us and bringing it up. So Monday's show, we discussed, or Jeff brought up an interesting question.
Which surprised me because I didn't really think Jeff followed golf like that, but it was pretty amazing.
But what got me in surprise was how in-depth it was.
I know.
I mean, it was deep.
It was pretty impressive.
So, Stimpy.
I'm capable of in-depth thought.
Well, but that's just dark. It's not deep. It's just dark. How about that? Okay, he's got nothing to say. Oh, my gosh.
That'd be like George not talking.
I was
World
just
might
jealous.
come to an
I was
Really?
jealous you didn't come up with the idea.
Really? Yeah.
No, like I said, I'm impressed. I'm not jealous.
Oh,
I'm
no,
impressed.
no jealousy at all. All right, Stimpy, here's what we got.
All right.
They everybody in the vast multiple media outlets, they refer to the Big Four, meaning like the old Big Three or Big Four back in the day with Nicklaus and Palmer and Player and whoever else was hot at the time. They would kind of tag them in. Now the Big Four is McIlroy, Day, Spieth, and Fowler. Okay?
Yes.
Now, Jeff brings up the in-depth proposal, question, hypothetical, whatever. Who's number 5?
That's a very, very, very good question. I'm sitting here kind of pondering on it right now myself.
First,
what's your call on it?
let's debate this. Does there need to be a number 5?
No. Really? Just if you got 2 or 3 guys battling at it, I mean, that's enough to, get everybody's blood pumping.
Mm-hmm.
If you got 5, that's a little more blood pumping.
But we've commented on this program and other programs here at thegolfdirector.com that it's good that we've got these multiple layers of players, these different personalities, although we may not agree with all of them at, high-top shoes and, spandex bottom pants and all this other stuff, whatever, MC Hammer pants as I refer to them. Or your McIlroys coming over here and running away with particular major championships, or Spieth and the year he had last year.
yeah, we're starting to see tattoos, beards slowly sneaking on here and there. So
multiple
there's a debate over that.
beards.
Yep.
Yeah. So my point is,
man buns.
we kind of moved. Yeah. Wow, he went there.
I did. Yeah.
Stimpy. So, does there need to be a number 5? Maybe yes, maybe no. But let's say there should be a 5th. So, taking that into consideration, who would be number 5? Now, I made up a list of names to kind of help you guys along. Okay, so my list of people that, and Jeff, whenever you're ready, jump in on this. My list of people that could possibly assume the 5th role as the top 5 players in consideration for any event. Okay? Mm-hmm. Rose, Watson, Stenson, Willett, Matsuyama, or Reed. Now, if you take those, you could add others to it. But others haven't performed or produced in the last couple of years in major championships. Okay?
Who's the last? Say those again. Rose,
Yeah,
Watson.
Rose, Watson, Stenson, Willett, Matsuyama, or Reed. Now, I mentioned this off air to you, HR. You kind of like the Matsuyama.
I do. He's been in contention in pretty much every one of them. I think if there is a 5th, I think he makes more sense than anybody in that list.
So, do you have a list, that you want to? Because I'd like to compare this.
I mean, I mentioned last week, Justin Rose.
Mm-hmm.
The Matsuyama that George mentions is really good. I think Kisner's one of them, if you put somebody in there, even though he played poorly in the Masters.
Yeah.
But his year last year and the way he played
But Mark,
and he played good earlier this year.
I want to hear the rest of his list, though, before we start debating them.
so we got Kisner,
Rose,
Rose.
Matsuyama, Kisner. You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't matter how many you name, just
Right.
the ones that come to mind.
Other than there's really nobody else that makes two. You know, other than
All right.
I would say, you know, oh shoot.
I'm thinking Adam Scott.
Hold on a minute. You finish you?
The kid that I'm drawing a blank, Jeff, and I'm not looking.
All right,
at
we'll
this.
come back to it.
Smiley.
But no, hang on. No, the kid that
Smiley.
you like so much, Justin Thomas.
You got Justin Thomas, Brooks Koepka, Chris Kirk.
No,
You know, well, I'm just saying
Justin
that's
Thomas,
in the,
and then
the
you got
genre.
and then you got the boy that Gene likes so much. The
Well,
young-
Gene likes Bubba.
No, the other kid, the young. He played good at Augusta.
Burger.
No. Oh, crap.
All right, Grinder, what's
I'll
your
think
list?
about it.
All right,
Stimpy.
You know, it's going to be tough, but I've got Brent Snedeker. I can see him, you know, coming alive. I mean, you know, if you look at he's up top right now.
Yeah, that's a wish, not a fact. All right.
Uh,
Thank you.
Go ahead, Stamp.
Adam Scott
Scott,
Yep.
and Kinsner.
And Kisner.
Kisner.
Yep. And then if I had to, you know, just pick one that I wished.
Another one that you wish?
Yeah.
G-Mac.
G Mac.
Yeah, that's a wish.
Wow.
Yeah.
The guy's 40 years old.
Yeah.
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 So neither one of
I-
you guys
or-
mentioned Dustin Johnson.
I've got DJ right here circled, but he's such a wild card. You know what I mean? That I just
Yeah,
don't
but
think
we're
he's
gonna
got the
put-
drive.
We're going to put him under your name.
I've got him. Yeah, I've got him circled, but I
We're going to put him under your name. Congrats. I guarantee he won't go anywhere else.
I'm thinking of I figured out who I was thinking of.
Who?
The kid that won the Masters.
Willett.
Yes.
Yeah, Willett. Okay. I'll put him under your name.
I think Willett.
Because I had him under mine
Gene's
also.
picked him a bunch.
Now, let's go back to this. By the way, Jeff, do you have a list?
Yeah, I do. And I waffle around on my list as much as you guys do, but I had Rose, Stenson, Matsuyama. I just went to 3, but I had Rose, Stenson, and Matsuyama as the ones that I think are capable of being a number 5. But then you ask yourself, as strong as DJ is, why is he not a consideration? Well, it's because of what Al said. He's such a wild card.
He is.
He still
He is.
has that enlarged space between his ears.
Yeah, psychologically and emotionally a
Yeah.
wild card.
And then you look at Reed, who could potentially get there, but he hasn't yet.
Okay, let me go back to the theoretical aspects of this question. Here we go. Are you holding on?
Yep.
Do we go ahead and take these, the McIlroys, the Fowlers, the Spieth, and the Day, on their marketability aspect, or on their playing aspect?
Well, they become marketable when they're called the top 4.
When they play a major and win a major, or
Yeah.
may win multiples, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, then you just
But
shot
also,
your whole
too-
theory out of the question because Fowler hasn't won a major.
That's right. That's Fowler's there purely on the
Well, he's
marketing
won the
side.
5th major.
No, that's not a major.
Yeah, but
he
it's-
won the Players.
Yeah.
That's great. He also choked when he had a golf tournament in his pocket
Yep.
and made some of the dumbest decisions coming down the stretch.
But-
Yes, he's flashy, he's flamboyant, and the girls and the kids like him because it's the millennial new kid, whatever else. I think it's phenomenal. But the kid has not won a major like Spieth and Day and McIlroy.
Mhm.
So to put him in this,
Yeah.
to me, is a stretch.
But again, that's the media placing
the
him
media-
on a
I-
marketable aspect.
He's
You
good
asked
for the
for my
game.
opinion.
He's
I'm
good
just
for the
giving
game.
you my
Right.
opinion.
He's good for the game. If
Yeah.
Yeah,
being good
that's-
for the game
that's-
is
yeah.
is a consideration in the top 5, who that's not in the top 4 is also good for the game. That could be good for the game. Think about it from that aspect, because I think if you look at the good for the game factor in Spieth, that's huge.
Yes.
McIlroy's huge.
Huge.
Day, huge.
Huge.
Fowler, I see it.
Yeah,
The youth of
he
that-
appeals
okay.
to the youth.
Yeah,
yes.
so he's a top level player. He hadn't won a major yet,
But
so,
he is not in the category when you go to the big 3 with Nicholas Palmer and Player.
I get that.
And you do that. This is a totally different
So
aspect.
are we saying then that part of the criteria is that you got to be in that category in today's world? I don't think you do, because I think the media is stronger now than it was then. And I think that his impact on the game has to be part of the criteria. Who has the potential to impact the game at the same level those other three guys do, Spieth, McIlroy, and Day, other than Fowler.
So let's say this. I'm going to look at 3+ billion people in Asia.
Yep.
There's your Matsuyama.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matsuyama, if Matsuyama ever figures out his putter, he may be a world number one at some point. I think he's capable of being a world number one.
He's got the potential to stay in the top 10.
Yeah, I think he does
for a long time.
Every bit of his game is solid as a rock.
I agree
except for
with
his
you,
putter.
and that's why when George mentioned his name this morning before we went on air, I was like, I like that one.
I'm a big Matsuyama fan.
See, that brings that market.
Absolutely.
Every
Impact.
Korean,
Impact.
Japan,
Yeah.
Chinese, I don't care who it is.
I mean, they may hate the Japanese, but they're going to like the kid because he's Asian and he
That's
can
right.
play.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
I
That's
agree.
right.
I agree 100% with that.
So, and then we're also looking at the marketable aspects of which 5. I mean, when you go into a fantasy pick or even just in consideration of a golf tournament, and you see this list of players, like for the Wells Fargo that we're going to talk about on Pro Golf Talk Live, who are your picks out of that list? There's 150 plus players there.
It's 156 to be.
For whatever tournament,
Just so
and
you
then
know.
and then in a major, whatever, it doesn't matter.
For a regular
My point
tournament.
is who in that 5 names of that list of players is your eye immediately going to go to as a possibility of winning or playing top 5?
And you have to put Justin Rose in that list.
And that's why he
Yeah.
goes on my list as possibly that 5th guy.
Yeah.
But so did the reason I put Matsuyama there is because I likewise consider him for any tournament to look at and say, that's an individual that's got the skills and the mentality,
Yeah.
the course management mentality to win that particular tournament.
See, I'm a big Reed fan, but he's not on my list. I just don't think he's there.
See, I put him in there because he declared himself a top 5 player.
And I don't hold that against him. I like that. I like for somebody to come
Well,
out and say, "Here's where I want to be."
And we
Here's what
debated that for hours.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just think he's in the category with Dustin Johnson.
I think you're right. 100%.
Wild
I don't think
card.
they have the brains. I don't think they have the sense to become the player that you're talking about becoming.
Yep.
Now, let's go back and address the one name that you remembered and brought in at the last, and I likewise, you see I had it on my list also,
Danny Willett.
Danny Willett.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's
agree.
now a major championship winner,
Yeah.
and so thusly that has elevated the worldwide consideration of looking at him in a name on a roster and say, oh, Willett's in this one now.
I still think he
He has
to
a
prove it.
chance.
I still think he's got time that he has to prove.
It's a shame, you're right,
yeah.
but he's already a major championship winner.
I agree. He's on my radar for sure.
I'll
And he's
put it
top
to you this
10
way.
now,
Y'all
top
can-
10 in the world.
Yeah.
I agree. Jeff, I understand why you're saying he needs time to prove it. Whatever. The guy shot 67 the final round of the Masters and won. To me, that proves the guy's got it. Now,
Yet
does he have it?
Yet Bubba Watson's not on your list.
Oh heck no!
Okay. So that's all I'm saying.
No.
Because that doesn't make you.
I'm gonna die here soon, and I wouldn't waste a breath.
So what you're saying is that winning that major doesn't qualify. It's not just that major that qualifies you for the top 5.
Doesn't quite get
No.
you there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So that's my point about Will.
But the shot the score he shot to win it
and the way
puts him in the
the way he
conversation.
played the last 9
yes,
holes does.
puts him in the
I agree. I agree.
conversation.
He's on my radar.
Sure.
100% on my radar.
And that's why I listed him down likewise the same. But the point is, you could then argue the point, and we tried to go here right after the Masters, but did Spieth lose it or did Willett win it?
Speak
I think I think you're wrong. I think Willett won it. I don't think Spieth could have beat him.
Yeah, it would have been good to see.
It would have been a good battle coming down the stretch, but I don't think he
I
had
think
his best to catch him and to maintain
Here's
his
something
lead.
nobody has gone to in the Spieth thing that I think had a bearing on it. And yeah, if you're a world class 1 or 2 player, this shouldn't be an issue. But I think the fact that Spieth was playing with an amateur who'd never been there before and fell apart during that last round certainly had an effect on him.
Well, he wasn't an amateur. Smiley Kaufman was a professional. He just played bad.
Yeah, but watching a guy post 80 around you.
Right. But again, folks, Jeff, it's no matter than if George is sitting here doing an interview as a professional reporter, and he gets somebody gets nervous and hung up and lockjawed, he's got to figure out how to handle the situation.
I'm not
it's about being a professional, and that, to me, I agree.
Good
I
point.
understand what you're saying, but that's no excuse.
But no, it's not an excuse, but it's also a sign of what he's yet to accomplish in his career.
Oh, no question about it. No question.
That's all I'm saying.
But I don't think Spieth could have caught him anyway. I don't think he had it.
I think Willett was I mean, his game was probably untouchable there.
I have to agree with HR because let's just say hypothetically that they finished regulation play with a tie.
Yeah.
If they would have gone into a playoff, then
I'd have bet $100 to one of those Krispy Kreme donuts over there that Willett would have won.
That Willett would have beat him.
You look at the lead that Jordan had after 9 holes.
5 shots.
A 5-shot lead.
Yeah.
And, he made the mistakes, whatever. But you look at what Willett shot the back 9.
Yeah.
He'd have caught him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
So, you don't know how he would have handled it. It's all hypothetical. I just think it was a different ballgame.
But I think Willett's mindset on that particular day,
sure.
he saw it. He saw it up on the leaderboard. He goes, I can take this.
So let's review what
and he wouldn't have let it go.
Jordan lost it.
To be honest, Jeff,
you want to review names?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though, and I'll let you do that. I'll just throw this in there. But this is where you go to the movie Risky Business with Tom Cruise. When his buddy looks at him and said, hey, Joel, sometimes you just got to say what the – and that's kind of what Willett did.
Yep.
He went out and just played and said, okay, who cares? I'm just going to go play and see what happens.
Sure.
And, he gave it that attitude like, he's out there just with his buddies letting it rip.
Well, it's like he told his caddy,
bam.
we're just going to shoot the lowest score we can shoot on this back 9.
So Rose appeared on 3 lists.
Yes, he did.
Stenson appeared on 2. Matsuyama appeared on 3 lists. Thomas on 1. Reed on 1. Snedeker on 1. GMAC on 1.
Oh, my God.
DJ on 1. Rose, Stenson, Matsuyama. Stenson was on 1 list. So Stenson's
2.
on 2.
You had Stenson. I had Stenson.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Stenson's on 2. So, I mean, it starts to narrow down a little bit just from this audience.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, Rose is a name that's thrown in there. 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 is probably the top. And I think that is the top pick for a guy that probably can be to be the Big 5. But you know what? He's still got to prove it.
I'm not going to argue that a bit. To me, he's underachieved tremendously.
Well, again, though, major championship winner.
Yep.
But he backed into that one.
Yep. And we've seen Stenson go there and then falter, and he's still got to prove it. Okay, Matsuyama. Everybody agrees that the guy.
I think Matsuyama is your 5th pick, Jeff.
I think Matsuyama.
I think Matsuyama is the number 5, and it's with a question mark. But I think he's the only one that's viable that makes any logical
if you go
sense.
back, if you go back to the value,
That's what I was going. Yeah, exactly.
If you go back to the value, whatever
value,
the marketing value,
marketing value for the game.
however you put that into the mathematical equation, then Matsuyama can be a discussion.
Impact.
Yeah,
Marketing impact.
However, as far as major championship winner, as far as consistency in the top 10, as far as world golf rankings, Rose falls into that 5th spot.
I just think it's interesting that on one side, winning majors is part of the equation, but that doesn't guarantee you a slot in the top 5.
No.
No, well, if you,
I mean,
it would just be
Because
majors
Mickelson's
winners.
not in there. None of you guys mentioned Mickelson.
Well, but again, the top 4 now. We're
thought
talking
about
about current day top 4. If you, I know.
I said that
Hold
to
on,
Nancy.
don't go anywhere. I'm arguing this point. Just stay with me. Don't pass out. Don't get off the
So
stool.
why was Phil not on your list?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Don't go there, Jeff. Let's keep this a family-oriented show.
Why
Is
would you
Jeff
put
Bodine still on your pick for the NASCAR Winston Cup?
Well, he's a good friend of mine, but
I understand that.
Yeah, but
so.
How about Darrell Waltrip?
You chose a guy named Kisner over Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
When we talk about
Because the kid's 30 years old and he got beaten 3 playoffs last year and he finally won.
There's a criteria. There's something that we talked about, that Brian and I talked about when we were talking about criteria. If you say who under the age of 30 or 30 or younger has the potential to be top 5, then you rule out Snedeker, G-Mac, and,
Yep.
And
DJ.
Mickelson.
Yeah, Mickelson.
I mean, we look at back when Nicklaus and Palmer and Player and all them were the top 3, and any tournament out there would, do everything in their power to try to get those 3, if not some of those 3, 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 3 or 1 of the 3, to their event just for ticket sales.
So I'm really disappointed in Stimpy's picks, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I was waiting for somebody to come right out and just tell Stimpy, yeah.
But, I mean, you think about
Max
it.
Chance and Hades.
You're talking about a top 4, top 5, and naming his names, and it is modern times. I understand marketability, sales of equipment and clothing and whatnot.
Right.
But back then, the big 3 were the guys that dominated the game of golf. That's why they were called the big 3.
Yeah, but-
it was Palmer, Nicklaus, and Player. They were winning the majors. They were winning the big tournaments. They were bringing the people out. That's where all of this has come from.
And it's like Palmer was on every commercial
Unless
there was.
Jason Day,
But you had
Jordan
Casper.
Spieth.
You had other players that
George
were.
Archer who could play. You had Mr. Stockton. You had a bunch of people that
Trevino.
could play. I mean, Trevino was out there. He'd won majors, and he wasn't even considered in the top 3.
That's
He
right.
wasn't even a top 4.
That's right.
And he won majors.
That's right.
So what I'm trying to say is,
It's the marketing dollars.
if Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, or Fowler, if they're not playing, nobody's really going. They don't care.
Well, it's like Wells Fargo
Look at the
this
TV
week.
stuff. The TV. If you don't have these people playing, their TV ratings go through the floor.
That's right. That's right.
And even though he mentioned that he's coming back, none of you guys picked Tiger.
Whoa. Speaking of Tiger, this week he went higher. He is outside now the top 500 in the world. He's now officially at 506, I believe it is.
Do you know how much that means?
Do you see Tiger ever?
Absolutely zero.
Do you see him ever breaking the top 100 again?
No.
He's done.
Some of you guys have said he'd never come back.
I'm going to tell you right now.
He'll never win
The
another.
top 100, he'll win again.
Yep.
Will he win a major? I'm not going that route, but he will win again, and he will come back, and he will draw more attention and bring more people to golf than everybody that we've put on this
So
list.
then he would end up in the top 5.
I absolutely
big
disagree
five.
with you.
I'm telling you right now, he will bring back more people than these people in here.
He
do.
will.
I absolutely disagree.
But I think you're smoking crack.
No.
Well, no. Now,
You might as well argue the same point that that's why Nike's going to re-sign Michelle Wee.
This is a good time to
It's
table,
done.
table
It's over
this whole
with.
thing and let it stew.
You know,
And
the-
we'll
You were going to stew
the
it?
draw. I mean, if you look at the draw,
Oh,
like
here we
when
go.
when I
You're out.
Let's
You're
hear
out.
this.
Here we
logic.
go.
Let's
Here we
hear
go.
this
How did
logic.
Hold on.
How did you earn an opinion with those picks?
Has he got a?
I'm just going to shut up now.
I was waiting for Francis We Met to come out.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
hood, I mean,
You got old Tom Morris on you?
No.
But it is draw value, like you guys are saying, draw value.
Yeah.
If he's there, he's like a magnet. I mean, I only ever got to be close to him one time, and I couldn't get as close as I wanted to get because there's 50 other people, in front of me. I mean, it's just how much draw he has.
Are you
is
talking about Tiger?
amazing. Yes.
Okay.
All right. That's good, fellas. Nice job.
Yeah. Well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay. All right. Are we wrapping this up?
Let's wrap this one.
G-Mac.
Where the hell
Get in
is-
gear, brother.
dude, I don't know, but I need to ever what he's got.
Is there a bong over there or something?
God,
Yeah,
got a hookah over here?
He hit the hookah before he came
Ooh,
in this morning.
man.
Brent, I need you, buddy.
I don't have a readout. Where's my readout?
Just wing it.
Oh, wing it.
Thanks for joining the golfdirector.com. There's
It's
more
been a lot
news
of fun
and
today.
information
Al
coming up
Cloyd.
next.
We're available on
Stimpy.
every mobile device
You're right.
in a
home
billion.
Of, the home of Stimpy and those other guys.
Stimpy and the crew.
Don't go anywhere,
Just
folks.
Thanks for
call
joining us.
Dave.
Don't go anywhere. There's a lot more golf news and information coming up next.
Oh, my God, that was good. Francis, we met.